All right, welcome to Eyes Open Media, and this is Monday U.S. dollar report. I will add in the Dow Jones as well because we want to make sure that we're keeping an eye on the Dow Jones because it is at 18,005. So we want to see it go to 19 plus and then eventually into 20 as quick as possible because we understand that what that means. Okay, so we'll talk about that. So as you see here, the U.S. dollar is at 96.50. And it's been holding 96 for a while now. Okay, so it did drop to 95 for a little bit, for a second or two, and then came right back to our and staying in our range of 96, 98. And it's doing a good job at it. Just staying strong. It hasn't. It's not like it's rising and rising and rising. It's just staying in that certain 96.50, 96.40 range. And I don't know if they want to make it go higher or if they just want to keep it here until something happens in the Eastern world or the Middle East. So yeah, and it's kind of interesting that it's not up today. Well, it actually was up today until just recently. So it was up around 6 a.m., 7 a.m., 8 a.m., 9 a.m. I mean, the dollar was up even 10 a.m. But then it started to fall. Okay, at lunchtime. Okay, so lunchtime fall here for the dollar and down 6 cents, which is nothing. Okay, so it was up and probably it might even come back up and close the day on the up 10, maybe 3 cents, 2 cents, 4 cents, or something like that. We don't know. But yeah, so the dollar continues just to stay at a nice pace here at 96 to 98 range, and I don't know if it's gonna hit 98. Don't know because it looks like it likes the range of 96 right now. Okay, so and you know the Dow has, I guess the Dow has something to say about it because maybe when the Dow does go to 19,000, you might see the dollar at 97. And then when the Dow goes to 20,000, you might see the dollar at 98. You see what I'm saying? So that could also be doing it as well. The dollar might go to 98 when the Dow's at 20,000. Okay? And then when the Dow starts to fall, then the dollar will start to fall with it on the reset. Okay? So that's what we're looking at. Okay, that's what we're looking at. It looks like that's what is going to happen. It looks like that's what's going to trigger a lot of things that we've been waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting for. Is the Dow 20,000? We said this from the beginning. I didn't think that we really needed to see the Dow all the way up at 20,000, but it looks like that's what they're waiting on for just by observing on the outside, it looks like that's what the maybe the government or a body in the government's looking at. Maybe that's what the elites are looking at. Maybe that's what the IMF are looking at. They're looking at Dow 20,000. That's what it looks like. Okay, I could be totally wrong, but Dow 20,000 we know is going to cause a reset. Okay, and it's going to cause the Dow Jones to go from 20,000 quickly back down to about 12,000 to 15,000 range, which will cause a reset, which will cause gold to go to probably 2,000 plus, and then will cause a dollar to drop out of 90. Okay, so that is a reset. Okay, so the Dow at 20,000 gives us a reset, and remember, the reason why the IMF is saying that the IQD is pegged to the dollar, they're making that blatant, is because when the Dow's at 20,000, Iraq is gonna have no choice but to do something because the dollar is going to drop dramatically. Okay, so that's why they're making sure that the IQD stays pegged to the dollar. Okay, and they're making that known because they're letting Iraq know that if you don't do something, your currency is going to be it's going to be blown up in pieces. It could be destroyed. Okay, so you want to make moves when the dollar drops. Basically, when the dollar when the Dow's at 20,000 and then the dollar starts to fall with the Dow, you need to make moves, okay? And so their high point will be 20,000, and I'm pretty sure Body and the IMF know about this, and they could easily then say, all right, it's time to go. So then they make their move, and then for those that are on Patreon, we jump into the two stocks that we talked about and that we're going to be loading, and then we watch this thing drop back down to about 15,000. Okay, so that is just that's just what I'm looking at, and that's just what I'm seeing. Is that it looks like a Body is and here's the thing about it as well, is that when Mosul is finally announced, that's probably when the Dow's at 20,000. So there's a reason why Abadi's delaying Mosul. There's a reason why Abadi's delaying Mosul. Okay, is Abadi watching the Dow Jones? Is Abadi watching for 820,000 on the Dow, and then plants the flag, and then releases the economic reforms, and then we see the Dow starts to tumble, and then we see a reset happen with the dollar, and the and gold goes above 2,000. You know what I mean? So we don't know. We don't know. I'm pretty sure that's probably it could be. It could be because we know that when the Dow Jones is at 20,000, we're going to see a reset. We all know that. Every single one of us knows that. So if you know that, then I'm pretty sure our body and the IMF knows that. Okay? Because if we know that, and we're just normal God-loving people, right? So if we know that, then I'm pretty sure the IMF knows that. Okay? So I don't want to go too long-winded, but I think let's check out the Dow here. Okay, as you see the Dow, it came back down a little bit here, lunchtime fall, and now it looks like it's starting to pick itself back up. So it's up 9 points right now, 9.93. Okay, so we want to see this thing go to 19,000 this week. Don't know if it's going to happen or not. It looks like it's been having Friday, and now today that it's only up a few points. That tells me that buying is starting to slow down and selling is starting to come in a lot more. Okay, so that tells me that we might see a correction tomorrow. You never know. They're going to try to keep the news good. Okay, the news is what's going to try to keep this thing rallying up to 20,000. Okay, it's the news. Okay, as you see here, Dow on record for on track for record close, closing high as tech rallies. Okay, so we have earnings that came out today for a lot of companies. We're gonna have earnings tomorrow, earnings all week. So what they're gonna try to do is to keep this momentum going to 19,000 and 20,000. They're gonna promote all the earnings that were good and try to remove themselves from the earnings that were bad. Okay, so they're gonna try to put the earnings that were good in the light. So you know what I mean. So it's earnings season here. We're gonna be seeing a lot more companies with their earnings. And we're going to see a lot more good than bad, put it that way. So the Dow can continue to come up because it needs some help right now. Okay, it's only up a little bit right now. It looks like a lot more selling is happening than buying, so it's starting to push itself down. But to keep this going and to keep this thing to rally to 19,000 and then 20,000, they're going to have to continue to bring out good news. Okay, point blank. Either bring out good news or put out bad news against the euro or the British pound. Because if you put out bad news against British pound or euro or Chinese yuan, everybody runs to the U.S. dollar and to the U.S. stock market. So it's either you know what I mean. It's either put out good earnings reports and focus on that and not focus on anything bad, or it's going to be is either going to be some type of attacks in the UK on the British pound or the euro or China, and everybody run to the US dollar and the US stocks because it's more safer. So they're gonna do something like that. Something like that's going to happen. We know that there's something that's going to be massive and major in the UK that might help the Dow get to 20,000, because we know when stuff happens in the UK, everybody runs to the US dollar and to the US stock market, because the Europe market or the Britain market or the British pound market isn't safe. Okay, so we know that something in the UK is coming, and it's going to be massive. Okay, we said that something when the prophets were saying France was going to happen, and that happened. So shout out to Prophet Solomon and everybody else that was talking about France and giving us a stern warning on that, and that came to pass. Okay, and it was sad what happened, but we did talk about it, and it wasn't my report. Okay, for my investment report, which you can also find the Audible report on Patreon. Okay, also, there won't be another report until they raise the value. Okay, point blank and simple. And I was calling it though. I was saying it was going to be my last report, but I don't want to do that to you guys, especially those on Patreon as well. I need to be giving out monthly reports. Okay, so it won't be my last report, but it'll be the celebration report. Okay, so I'm going to hold off on any type of reports until this country of Iraq raises their value and stops holding the whole world hostage. Okay, I can only imagine what Iran is feeling right now as they continue to have to wait on this on this foolish country that doesn't want to give their people purchasing power. So yeah, it's kind of frustrating. I'm pretty sure Vietnam is looking and saying, okay, when can we go? When can we do our thing? But I think everybody has been giving a time frame where they must have their stuff done. And I'm pretty sure there's also probably another way. They're probably saying, look, if Iraq doesn't do what they're supposed to do, then you guys all might go. They might break their own rule. IMF could easily break their own rule and say you guys all reset October 1st, 2016. Okay, which is a Saturday. That means the world wakes up on Monday with totally different exchange rates and all types of stuff. Okay, I mean, they did put that out there on the mainstream media that could happen. Okay, could happen on a Saturday, and we wake up to new exchange rates on a Monday. So they did put that out there on the mainstream media. But what was it, 3 years ago, maybe today? So about 3 years ago. So that can always happen. If Iraq doesn't want to play by the rules, then they'll force all currencies to change at one, at one time, and then everybody wakes up to new exchanges. That they could break their own rules and do that. Okay, so it's illegal to do that, but when you're the IMF, you can break your own rules and make it happen. Okay, so. We don't want to see that. We want to see this thing over. We want to see Iraq give purchasing power to the citizens. We want to see Iran do their thing. We want to see people be able to go on vacations and have fun and enjoy their lives and be able to move on with other things. And I'm also bringing you guys other things as well. Of course, THW Global doesn't launch till September, which is, it's understandable because they want a massive amount of people to view the content. They don't want small amount of people viewing content. They want a massive amount of people viewing content. Okay, so the advertisers can get their money's worth. So we understand that by September we should have 1 million people registered and ready to go to start viewing content in September. Okay, so that's why they just say build your team. So I'm not promoting THW Global anymore because I have a big team. I have a big team in my 10 levels, so they're doing all the work for me now. Everybody in my 10 levels is doing all the work now. Okay, so I did my part, and if they have any type of massive announcement, I will bring it to you guys. My 24 my 24-hour income with millionaire Drew Burton. That's I'm promoting that as well. That's going to drop. That launches August 14th. That's going to be awesome, including the daily commission referral pool for everybody that's active in the system, meaning you have at least a $5, you have one share in the $5 pack, meaning that you spent $5 to get one share of ad pack, and that you're clicking on your 10 ads a day. That's it, and you'll get equal amount in the referral commission pool. Never been done before in RevShare, and Millionaire Drew Burton is going to be doing that for us. So that's awesome. Um, Also, I got another one that I'm going to be promoting hopefully this week as well. Once I start getting into it, hopefully I can get into it tomorrow, Wednesday, and then by the end of the week, I'll be promoting that one as well. I don't want to get the name up because I want to get into it first and then see them and then do it myself and then I'll promote it. Okay, so eyes open, watch the dollar, watch the Dow, 20,000. Here we come. Peace out.